Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Promotion Power Rankings on the League of 72. My name is James Alcott, and in this video, in this series, we're going to be running down the 19 teams. That's 6, 6, 7 when it comes to the playoff places in the EFL. The 19 teams that we think are in the running for promotion right now. There are 3 new entries this week, a few teams dropping down and some teams dropping completely out of the Promotion Power Rankings right now. And all 3 divisions could not be tighter right now. So it's an amazing time to be watching the channel. So make sure you subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoy. By the end of it, of course, get your comments in down below as well. Let's get into this. The second half of this video is very, very tasty when it's utter chaos at the moment. But in the top half, we kind of know a few of the teams that feel like they're going to make their way through. Starting off with Fulham in first spot, who beat Queen's Park Rangers 2-0. That's my team. I don't want to watch clips from them, but the producer has said that we need to showcase how good Fulham are. So let's show the first goal against QPR. Let's have a little look at this one. Mitrovic now 37 goals in 36 games. I was in the stands for this one. What's so great about Fulham is that they use the width of the pitch so brilliantly. Quick interchanges, and then from nowhere, there's bodies all over the floor like a war zone, and Fulham have scored another goal. They have been top of the promotion power rankings throughout, rightly so. They look very, very strong, and it's turning into a bit of a procession for them. They didn't get out of second gear against us in what was a West London derby. Very, very impressive. And they have got a big part to play for some of the other teams because they've got to play a lot of the top sides that fight for promotion at the moment. So Fulham deservedly in first spot at the moment. Of course, those first, second, third spots will run out once those teams become officially promoted, and we will whittle down the numbers. It will probably go down from 19, of course. Second spot in the promotion power rankings this week, and second and third is pretty tight, to be honest. We're going to League 2 now. Forest Green Rovers, who got a 1-0 victory against bottom of the table Scunthorpe. Dan Sweeney getting the goal here, 75th minute. Nicky Cadden doing what he does best, using that wand of a left foot. Great goal, great set-piece goal. They've kind of found their feet again, Forest Green Rovers. That said, for a team that was so far away, they're just about hanging on to second spot at the moment. Let's have a look at the League 2 table, because in third spot, we have 2 teams in Forest Green Rovers and Exeter City, who have gone up 2 spots in the power rankings into second and third. Exeter going up because they're now in second spot. Yes, they've got a game played more than Forest Green Rovers, and there is that 4-point buffer. But Forest Green aren't completely... They're not totally convincing me right now. And there's been an injury to Matt Stevens, who's their star striker. Should be fine for promotion, should be fine for automatic promotion. But in terms of that Champions title, it's not totally there, because Exeter City are absolutely flying right now. They are undefeated in 7, a massive, massive victory against Newport. We said last week in the Power Rankings how big that game was going to be, and they got themselves the goal. Huge goal. Again, set pieces, crucial. So important. Set piece prowess came true again. Timothy Dieng, the Patrick Vieira of League 2 for Exeter City. And they got that 5-point buffer on 4th place now. 3 places, of course, when it comes to League 2 in terms of automatic promotion. So Exeter City, who've really enjoyed the promotion power rankings, have been going up and up, and they've gone up again, up into 3rd place now. Dropping 1 spot despite going joint top with Rotherham. Wigan Athletic, they've got that game in hand against Accrington Stanley, who conceded 10 goals in the last 3 games. They are on the beach, as we say, and so it's one where Wigan Athletic can really ram home that advantage of having that game in hand at the moment. Got a draw against Bolton, Northwest Derby, tough game, but got themselves a draw, got the point, and it's looking pretty good for them. It's a bit of a shame for them to drop down 1 spot, but Exeter City have been just so good. Next up in 5th spot, Bournemouth, who are in 2nd spot at the moment. And look, the thing about them with Bournemouth is just so much quality and depth. Got a 3-2 victory against Bristol City, and I want to show you this goal from Dembele. This just highlights the depth. To have someone like Dembele, who came in January from Peterborough and played that much, get his first goal for the club in this 3-2 victory, absolutely massive for them. They created 7 big chances in the game. Their XG was 3.29, looking very, very strong. That said, the only reason they're not higher up in the promotion rankings this week is the fixtures that they've got coming up. They're still so difficult. West Brom, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough. I mean, West Brom's still just about fighting for it. I mean, it's pretty much done for them, but those are really, really tough fixtures for them. And it's going to be huge for them out of those next 4. They should be fine. They should get second, and that's why they're very high up in the power rankings this week, up in 5th. but those fixtures are tough for them, and you never know, especially in this division, in the EFL and in the Championship in particular. And then Rotherham, we spoke about them with Wigan, didn't play this week, won the Papa John's Trophy against Sutton United, dropped down one spot just because they didn't play this week, but still in a strong place. They've got some silverware as well now on the mantelpiece, so they'll be ready to springboard forward once again. Just behind Rotherham in the league and in the power rankings this week, staying in the same spot, in 7th spot, MK Dons, who got themselves a 2-0 victory. It was Mo Issa and Scott Twine. Scott Twine has been absolutely outrageous this season. Between the two of them, 40 goals and assists. This is Scott Twine with that little back lift. The number 9 there gets his shot off, pops it in the corner. 26 goals and assists for Scott Twine, one of the most exciting players in the EFL. Liam Connolly is an MK Dons fan, and he's very excited. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Yeah, I think MK Dons' most chance is a fairly high one, to be honest. When you've got the likes of Scott Twine and Mo Issa up top, of course, Scott being 1 goal contribution off breaking a club record for a season. Become a big game out, getting on the goals recently also. But when you've also got the players like the back 3 with Darry Darling, Rod Hoare and Dean Livington, and then 2 in front of them, Conor Coventry and Josh McEachran, gives you a real core spine and keeps the games ticking along. Hence, are on the longest unbeaten streak in terms of the top 4 divisions in England. And yeah, whether it's for the top 2 or the playoffs, I think the team's got really a chance of promotion. It's probably been the best team that I've seen play at MK Dons since that 14-15 season. That, of course, got the job done on the final day.
1 point off second place. The automatic promotion places are there for the taking. They're playing very well. I think they've got Crewe next up. Exciting times for MK Dons. Exciting times for Liam Connolly. And in terms of exciting young talent, we're talking about Scott Twine there. Next up, we got a new entry, guys. Nottingham Forest have finally made their way into the promotion power rankings, and they've gone straight in at number 8. Brennan Johnson on fire. We're talking about great young players. This guy is amazing. This is the second goal he scored against Blackpool in the demolition of them away from home on the Sky cameras. It's a great little nutmeg there. And then look at this for a filthy little dink. Absolutely unbelievable. 20 years old, 20 goal contributions this year. What a turnaround for Nottingham Forest, who are obviously right down the bottom at the start of the season. I mean, look, I could talk about it for ages, but we want to hear from another fan, Chris Kearney at Analytics Forest. Let's hear what he's got to say about Nottingham Forest.
After our worst start to a league campaign in 107 years, Forest are finally on the verge of cementing our place in the top 6. Since Cooper came in, nobody's picked up more points than us, barring Fulham. We're averaging 2 points a game in our last 30 games. That's really automatic promotion form. And the feeling in and around the club is excellent. It's probably the best I've ever known it in my time. We're playing aggressive, front foot attacking football, as showcased at Blackpool at the weekend. With Brennan Johnson, the wonder kid, back to his best. We're getting bodies in and around the box. If you look at that game, even 32-year-old Jack Colback was bursting into the box multiple times. It was brilliant to see, and that's what Cooper's brought in with the young additions to the team. That's what we've been able to do. So all very positive. We're not there yet. We need to keep it going, take things game by game, but very good signs for us.
The signs are very good for Nottingham Forest. They are on the charge right now. I've never seen anything like it in terms of a team going from such lows and inability to score goals to now where they're pumping teams left, right and centre. And when we look at the league table, and we're talking about Bournemouth and how the fact that they're possibly there already, I look at it and I think with the games in hand that Nottingham Forest have got, of course, Bournemouth have got to lose games, but they have got tough games. And Forest have got crazy games as well. But at this moment in time, the reason we're putting them at such a high place in the rankings, because and even as a new entry, even as a team who's 7th in the table right now, you have to do it because they, at the moment, it feels like they're unstoppable. Be that somehow finding their way into the automatic promotion places, which does look unlikely, or even in the playoff places. Nottingham Forest look absolutely unstoppable right now. I can't really see. If you have, let me know in the comments below, guys. If there's a team that you don't want in the playoffs out of those championship teams, is it anyone apart from Nottingham Forest? It has to be Nottingham Forest right now. We keep moving up to 9th spot on the promotion power rankings. Mansfield, they beat Northampton in a huge game and now in 6th spot. Oliver Hawkins, look, we're talking with these clips a lot of the time about set pieces. Another one, a big man with the header there. Huge game, tight game. Northampton struggling a little bit. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. But Dan Westwell is very, very happy as a Mansfield Town fan right now.
beating Northampton on Saturday was our 11th consecutive home win of the season, which has broken the previous club record. It's an absolute stunning turnaround from the start of the season, when we were something like 14 games without a victory. We were second from bottom, and we all thought we were going to get relegated. So we were all hopeful for just finishing mid-table. So to be joint third at this stage of the season, and it be in our hands, as we've got 2 games in hand on a lot of other teams, is absolutely fantastic. So it's in our hands. Hopefully we can keep this form up. It's a massive testament to Nigel Clough and his team, who have just been absolutely fantastic these past few months. So fingers crossed we can see it over the line and get promotion.
Into 10th spot, and 10th to 19th, where it gets absolutely chaotic. 10th spot this week, Port Vale, who've had a very, very good couple of weeks. They've gone from 8th to 4th, 4th to 3rd. This victory, this goal, 89th minute goal against Barrow, 2-1 victory away from home. Martin with the goal here. Great work from James Wilson. And scenes and celebrations. A couple of, you can spot the Port Vale fans, and you can certainly spot the Barrow fans in the background as well. Huge for Port Vale, who are doing really, really well. We'll show you the league table in just a second. Despite them going into the 3rd spot, it's not as plain sailing as you would imagine. Let's keep moving. Plymouth, League One. Last week against Ipswich, disappointing result there, and they have got tough games coming up, but a great victory. Huge win here against Oxford United, who dropped down a few places in the promotion power rankings. We'll have to go through it in a second. Edwards with the goal there, captain, leader, legend. Absolute screamer. These games are going to be very, very tight for Plymouth. Really tough fixtures coming up for them, but they are one hell of a team. Burton next up, then Wickham, then Sunderland at home. Huge, huge games from them. Back into League Two now. We will show you the table and the fixtures in a second, but Sam Finley scored an absolute rocket for Bristol Rovers from 30 yards out. So here's the table. Here is the table for you. Look at 3rd. I laugh at it when I look at it. And Bristol Rovers are a team who won this week, 2-1 victory. The thing about them that I'm slightly concerned about, and the reason why they're not a little bit higher up, is one, the fact that everyone's on 66 points. I think I'm on 66 points as well. But also the fact that they don't create that many chances. And I think that's what might hurt them. I was looking at their set piece XG. That's pretty low. I think it's 5th bottom in the division. And that could hurt them when we're talking about games. You know, Sam Finley scoring goals like that. He's not going to do that every single week. And add to that, the fixtures for Bristol Rovers. Have a look at this. If you can remember that league table, Tranmere Rovers right in there. Salford City have got a game in hand. If they win that game in hand, they're in the playoffs. Port Vale, we've just spoken about them. They're right in there. And Forest Green Rovers are currently top of the division. So Bristol Rovers have got some really, really tough games ahead of them. And I think that is the hardest run in terms of the next 4 games. It's going to be fascinating to see. Bristol Rovers, who weren't in the rankings initially, have now made their way in, and they're nicely nestled in 12th position at the moment. But can they keep it going? Next up, Luton in the Championship. Got a great draw here. We'll show you both the goals in the 81st minute and then right near the end. First of all, the Millwall goal. This is Afobe on the run here. Lovely little ball here from Jed Wallace. The cross comes in. Afobe scored his 9th goal here for the team. And Millwall, if they'd won this game, could have been right in the hunt for the playoffs. Really could have been. Added another name to the list. Unfortunately, weren't able to hang on. Millwall fans very happy there. But Luton got their goal. Great energy from them as well. It was a great first goal for them. This little bit of luck, or bad luck if you're a Millwall fan. Jack Cooper scoring an own goal here. Again, I've said it a few times now, set pieces, so important. And if we have a look at that league table now, we can see for the Championship, Millwall there, that victory would have been so helpful for them in terms of getting up to 60 points and having a bit of a chance. Blackburn Rovers, who I'll tell you now aren't in the rankings this week, once again, despite being in 6th spot with that draw against Coventry City, last minute goal for Gyökeres there. But Millwall not getting the victory. Luton stay in 4th spot. But there's just so many big hitters in there. I'm just going to be interested to know if Luton can keep this going. But they've been absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look at their fixtures, because it's a huge week for them. They've got Peterborough, then Huddersfield Town, then Nottingham Forest. Peterborough, of course, fighting for their lives, but did get pumped by Middlesbrough at the weekend. Huddersfield Town, one of their rivals there, and Nottingham Forest as well. So a big couple of weeks. It's so tight when it comes to the power rankings that Luton have actually dropped 5 spots this week. Just underneath them, a team that's moved up 2 spots in the rankings this week. Middlesbrough, 4-0 win against Peterborough, looking very, very strong, especially at the top end of the pitch. Watmore scoring goals, Balogun scoring goals, the whole team scoring goals under Chris Wilder. Let's hear what Dana Malt had to say about Middlesbrough.
I think this victory only strengthens Borough's playoff charge. Yes, it was against the worst team in the division in Peterborough, but crucially, we didn't slip up on an afternoon where a few of our playoff rivals dropped points, Blackburn, QPR, Luton as well. And I think given the fact that Peterborough are the worst team in the division by fact, I mean, you only have to look at the league table, it was a potential banana skin. So it's a big statement of intent in terms of the mentality of this team. And I think it goes an awful long way in this playoff battle.
Okay, so currently in 5th spot in the playoffs, Middlesbrough, but the next 3 games are huge for them. I know I've said that a few times in this video, but the fixtures are they're gnarly. Like, it's crazy at the moment. Fulham, Hull City, they'll be hoping to win that for sure, but to play first, second and third currently in your next 4 games is pretty wild for Middlesbrough. And I think they'll be confident in winning all of those games. They are really, really playing some good stuff at the moment under Chris Wilder. Next up, we go to League One. Sheffield Wednesday dropping down 1 spot. We've got some limbs here for you if you'd like to see them. Lee Gregory scoring a goal. I said it last week. Lee Gregory needs to be scoring goals for this team because I don't think anyone wants to play. There's a few teams that you don't want to play in the playoffs in League One, but I think Sheffield Wednesday is one of those. I think sometimes they blow teams away at home. Sometimes it gets a little bit tense there, but they were able to get over the line in this one. Lee Gregory scoring the goal there. Very, very important to get that victory against an AFC Wimbledon side that's really, really struggling. Bolton, MK Dons and Crewe next up for them. MK Dons, of course, are going to be tough, but they'll be hoping to get 6 points maybe if they can from that. Then that will consolidate their spot. But it's very, very tight when it comes to League One. Northampton Town in League Two. And next up, where are they? 16th place in the rankings, dropping 7 spots. No team drops more than Northampton Town this week in the rankings, and they're still 4th in League Two. It is absolutely crazy. That loss against Mansfield, we showed you the goal earlier in the video, was a huge one for them. Let's have a look at their fixtures. Bradford, Oldham, Harrogate, Leyton Orient. Really, really good fixtures. In terms of the ones that we've shown you today, that's a great little run that could really, really help them. Problem is they don't create enough. They don't concede many, but they do not create enough. Mitchell Pinnock, it's all on him a lot of the time. They need to start scoring some more goals, and I wonder if that tension could make it difficult for them. Be interesting to see how they get on in the playoffs, if they can even make it there, because they were gunning for 3rd spot and automatic promotion. Now they might find their way out of it and out of our promotion rankings if they keep going on like this. Next up, we go to 3rd spot in the Championship. This is very, very harsh when it comes to the rankings, but I think when it comes to Huddersfield Town, despite them getting their victory, and we can show you a tap-in from Toffolo, the goal against Hull City, who had a man sent off. Huddersfield were all over them, and in the end got themselves the goal. Toffolo with the tap-in there. For Huddersfield, the thing for me is their fixtures, which we can show you in just a second, but also I just wonder, with so many exciting teams scoring goals, I just wonder if they're going to be able to get through the playoffs. It feels like the automatic's just a bit too far away for them, despite being in 3rd spot, because they played a few extra games. And as I say, those next 3 games, Luton, QPR and Borough, tough games for them. I think they'll probably just sneak into the playoffs. I mean, we don't know at this moment in time. I just can't see them winning the playoffs. If you disagree with me, let me know, of course, in the comments down below. 2 spots left and 2 new entries into the promotion power rankings this week. Sunderland have finally made it after weeks. They've been knocking at the door. They've been on a great little run, and some more limbs here for you. This is where it matters. This is April football. Big goals. Broadhead with the header there. 95th minute. Why do players take the shirt off? It is a funny one, isn't it? But people do seem to enjoy it. And I'm sure the Sunderland fans really, really enjoyed that. They now find themselves in 6th spot. And again, if they get themselves into the playoffs, you do not want to be going to the Stadium of Light for a playoff semi-final. Graham Falk from the What the Falk pod is a Sunderland fan. Let's hear what he's got to say about the situation right now.
I think looking at Sunderland's promotion chances, it's really easy to get bogged down in the negativity of the fact that it looked like we were more likely to be pushing the automatics, and then of course everyone knows we lose 6-0 at Bolton. Lee Johnson gets sacked and everything that comes with it. But under Alex Neil, we've looked a lot more pragmatic, not always the most attractive, but really solid. Yesterday was a dominant performance in terms of possession, so it's getting slightly better. And the goal and the time it came was massive. So you've just got to hope that that now kicks on, gets us into the playoffs, and where that team that comes out of the playoffs and wins them, essentially, which is not in someone's nature, but there's got to be some time, hasn't there?
Tentative optimism. You would expect nothing less from Graham and just generally Sunderland fans. They've been through it, haven't they? But, you know, they're in there at the moment. The League One table and the teams in that division, we've said it all year, it's been so tough. So to get in those playoffs is no mean feat at all. And at the moment, they're in 6th. Final spot, 19th spot, another new entry. Tranmere Rovers back into the promotion power rankings. And again, we're talking about April football now, where it all gets a bit crazy. First of all, 9 men Tranmere had by the end of this game against Carlisle. 2 all draw. They're in 7th spot, just about got a place in the playoffs at the moment. But as we've seen in the table, it's absolutely crazy right now. First of all, Nevitt, Elliot Nevitt. These are the kind of moments. Can you imagine being a Tranmere fan as he makes his way through and he slots it home? Great, great goal. And they thought they'd got themselves over the line there. But as I say, playing up against 9 men, weren't able to hang on. This is right at the end of the game here. Absolutely heartbreaking for them. You think that might be the goal and they've got away with it, but no, they sneak that goal and it's a 2-all draw. Very unlucky. Bristol Rovers, Bradford City and Exeter City. Next 3 games, Bristol Rovers and Exeter, of course, right in those playoff places right now as well. So Tranmere clinging on by their fingernails in terms of the playoff places and their place in the promotion power rankings right now. There are a few teams that fell out and there's going to be a few teams that are going to want to make their way back in next week. The likes of Sheffield United only were able to stay in there for 1 week. Oxford United, who've been in the rankings the whole time, they dropped out. Newport County dropped out as well. You got Salford, who are now making a late charge. Ipswich making a late charge. QPR making a late charge? Probably not. Even Blackburn Rovers, who are currently in the playoff places, can't find their way into the power rankings right now. If you're not happy about that, then let us know in the comments down below. If you've got some kind of insight or you've enjoyed yourself, make sure you subscribe to the League of 72 and make sure you get involved in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.